There's more runners setting up over there, so
Are we signed up for commentary for that?
I don't know, but don't see anybody else coming over here yet. So
That's okay. Well, this could be
I
exciting.
don't know.
Oh, it's okay.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Well, who's our next competitor? All right, what do we got?
We'll probably be going to break on stream.
I'm
while they're
hoping we
setting
are.
up. But I guess we could quickly intro again, if you're just joining us, what format we're looking at with the Mario Maker races. They compete in 3 phases. Phase 1, they get blind levels, and it's just first person to beat them. Phase 2, they try and go as fast as they can on each of those levels. It's your fastest time. You turn that in. Then phase 3 is what we just saw, the endless expert runs to get as many clears as you can.
So we'll get 2 more runners set up with their switches and the level codes. They will have to download them. I have to imagine that there's going to be a different set of 3 levels. So we'll get some fresh levels for our runners.
We've had a lot of great people submit levels.
All right, and we'll leave you with that while we get them set up.
Are we live?
Sure looks like it.
All right, here we go. Thank you all for joining us for the continuation of SpeedGaming Live 2019. My name is Tim,
And I'm Spy Poet.
and we're going to watch some more Mario Maker 2. So we've got things kicking off with a race. It's actually not Oro and Too Good. I'm sure we'll get those names updated here in a moment, as well as the microphone names there. But so now we are watching our two racers try to figure out their way through this level.
An interesting key door because I have not quite seen anything that,
Like a key?
yeah,
Yeah.
or anything that could be a key, I guess.
Like the red coins or an enemy, it looks like they might have to start killing some of these enemies and see if one of them will give them a key.
There's a question block up there above the cannon.
Okay, well here's the mushroom power-up. Could lead to breaking a block that might give us one.
Good old puzzle level. Never quite sure what to do at first.
Great aesthetic though.
Oh yeah, it's very pretty.
Yeah.
Well,
It's kind of like a little ship or something there. These are like airships, I think. Looks pretty good.
yeah.
Oh, and there's the key.
Hiding in what looks like a bottom of a mushroom a little bit as well.
Yeah. All right, it's going to take us right over to the other side. And oh no! Taking the
no.
death right before the checkpoint.
At least he knows where the key is this time, so be able to get right back to it.
Yeah.
I just love the noise it makes when it bounces back and forth.
Yeah, very satisfying, for sure. Oh,
Oh,
no. Okay, there's the key. Romashkoo collected the key, now heading back to the door.
hopefully we'll get that checkpoint.
Yep, no problem. Just hold right.
Oh.
Missing the opportunity for the mushroom.
Luckily got the checkpoint, able to get right back to it.
Yeah, taking a death right after a checkpoint, obviously not so bad.
A lot of beetles on this level.
Yeah, and it looks like you sort of have to time, as Romashkoo has done. You can kind of jump and trigger them falling down so that you don't have to contend with them in the middle of a jump. Kind of bait them out.
Yeah. Going backwards now, having to find yet another key.
I like this upper part of the level. It's very cool.
Nope.
And there's that key you were talking about there.
I just had to speak about it for them to find it.
There you go. Yeah, and going left in Mario, always sort of a strange sensation. So I'm glad we're heading back in the correct direction again.
Indeed.
And another checkpoint. Well, it looks like maybe a chase getting set up here.
Booze on top of a Monty roll for when you really, really just want to feel like it's Halloween.
It is very spooky, isn't it? Nice. So it's got to move that mole out to the left, yeah, and then work down to the right. Oh, we've got another one to contend with here.
Oh.
Keeping it interesting.
And vines just to, why not?
Wow, they're pretty useful right now. Here's some more vines. And more ghosts getting spookier by the minute.
Ah,
And that was,
I was spooked.
and so was Romashkoo, unfortunately. But jumping right back into it with that knowledge now in tow.
Indeed.
That's tough, that first, when you hit that switch, it looks tough to avoid getting hit by those ghosts, but with enough attempts, I'm sure one of our runners will figure out the secret.
Indeed. Especially with who knows how many more boos possibly coming at them from any point of the map.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Kirbocyhn has picked up the second key and is now essentially sort of caught up. I believe this is going to lead them to that second checkpoint.
Ooh.
Yeah, and now we're kind of neck and neck again.
I believe I would say the boos are on the lead at the moment.
The boos definitely have the highest kill count for sure. You almost have to wonder if it's possible to get out there fast enough to not have to bait the ghost back and be able to just, move your way through that section without having to do that kind of juke dodge back and forth.
It's definitely a little bit of an annoyance. It's a race. You just want to be able to go fast. Oh.
Kirbocyhn makes their way through, seeing some new content here.
Able to.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh. So yeah, it looks like they needed to essentially kind of survive right there. And you can see Romashkoo taking advantage of those vines. Very smart. But they're... I might have spoke too soon.
The question is, will they be able to get out of there?
Yeah, it looks like they might have an opportunity if... Oh, yeah, that's tough once you get in that situation. It's a great effort, though.
Kirbocyhn on the left, just jumping over the boos rather than juking them on that left and right back portion.
And Romashkoo was able to avoid the ghost at the very beginning, kind of like we were talking about. So definitely getting stronger with more attempts.
Indeed. And of course, this will be one of the 3 levels that they will be trying to optimize in part 2.
I'm looking forward to that. This is going to be pretty tough to optimize. It's almost just, I think it's just going to be like who can get the deathless run maybe, but we'll see.
Indeed, it brings up the question, is it almost better to try to optimize it, or maybe if the other 2 levels are easier, focus on them instead?
Right. And Kirbocyhn does win that race, takes the first one, so GG to Kirbocyhn.
Indeed.
Starting on the second level, a nice big slope to start with. That's fun.
Oh, yes. Oh. Some Goombas on wings.
Looks like you can go over or under.
I don't know. Under seems a little dangerous there.
All right, and Romashkoo is on to the next level.
Unfortunate spike to the head.
Oop, Hammer Bro. The ever dangerous Hammer Brother. And falling icicles, another new addition to Super Mario Maker 2.
Just like the claw and the seesaw we see there on Romashkoo.
Yeah, that's right.
Bypassing what looked like a mushroom drop there, but opts to just move on.
Gotta go fast.
Indeed. With this first part especially, the winner is the one who gets the points, so you don't want to have to sit around and wait, especially if there's no need to.
Right. And Romashkoo taking the win on that one, looking good.
Alrighty. Tie going into our 3rd level here.
He's gonna try to jump on this when it comes through. There, gets it. Very nice.
Ooh.
We have lots of lava and skeletons over on Romashkoo's side, kind of getting back into the October feel of things.
Of course, we're ending this set with a castle run. Feels appropriate. We may have not gone through 8 worlds, but runners probably feel like they have.
Yeah, they've earned it, for sure. Oh, and we have a kind of a cool, very much from the original Super Mario Bros. 3, this sort of sky castle feel. I like this level a lot.
Oh yeah. Just don't accidentally jump off the beetle.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm pretty sure everyone's probably done at least once or twice.
Sure. Yeah, it doesn't have quite the same bounce that you might expect from other beetles. You just stand on that one and it does what you want it to do.
Well, picking up a nice first checkpoint. Ooh.
Avoided that giant muncher who's about to fall on their head.
Able to damage boost there and keep going.
Ooh. You gotta take kind of a tricky angle to get in there, it looks like, and those spike hitboxes definitely don't help.
No, they have definitely gotten a little bit trickier from Super Mario Maker 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, any Twitch streamer or YouTube Mario Maker player, if you've watched any of them, you've heard them talk about those really tough new spike hitboxes, and Romashkoo taking the death again there.
Yeah. Well, third time's the charm.
But once again, we do have both of our runners at the same section, which is just great to watch from a racing perspective, to see them neck and neck like that.
And both of them netted the same fireball.
Yeah.
They just really decided to be in sync today.
Mm-hmm. It is worth mentioning that both of our runners are sitting right next to each other and very much able to see one another's screens for whatever that's worth. They can get a little bit of knowledge by checking out what their neighbor's doing.
If you're willing to take your eyes off your screen for
Yeah,
long enough to do so.
for sure. Oh, and making that tricky jump, Romashkoo, very nice.
And Kirbocyhn right behind him.
Excellent. Yeah, so like Romashkoo knows, Kirbocyn's catching up on him, like he, surely knows that, but also definitely doesn't want to take a death here at this point.
Oh,
Ooh. That's a very high fireball, isn't it?
indeed. It just wants to achieve its dreams.
Yeah. Romashkoo makes it through the pipe to another Sky Castle section here. Looks like he's gonna. Oh, there it is. There's our on-off switch, which will switch the track, and we'll go on a magical journey.
A very slow magical journey. Ooh. Putting bullet launchers on the back of flying Koopas is just... It's beautiful, but it's so rude.
I was waiting to see what you're going to say, and I did not expect beautiful, but I like it. It is beautiful in a way. Ooh, kind of a tricky boss fight here, taking out a normal Boom Boom, but having to deal with some altering treadmill action here at the same time.
Luckily, good area there, able to move around a lot more than a more enclosed space would be.
Yeah, and Romashkoo pumps his fist in celebration, and rightfully so, after finishing the third race. GG Romashkoo.
Indeed.
And Kirbocyhn really hot on the trail here too. So great finish for them as well. Just got to take out this boss. Oh no, I jinxed it. I'm sorry, everybody.
You do that again, and I'm gonna have to find another commentator.
Okay, I'll be on my best behavior.
Good thing is they won't be playing any other races, so
Yeah.
if you somehow manage to do that again, I will be genuinely surprised.
Well, we've got lots more Mario Maker 2 to be played here, and lots more jinxes that could occur. So I still will be very careful.
Indeed. So with part 1 of this rounding up, they will be starting in part 2 here in just a few minutes, where they will be trying to optimize these 3 levels and get the best time earning points.
Yeah. Kirbocyhn very, very narrowly avoids hitting a fireball there. Ooh.
No.
Yeah, and it's a terrible feeling, as someone playing Mario, when you're running for a pit and you realize at some point mid-sprint that maybe it's not a good idea to take that jump. Do you double back or do you go for it?
Oh. Taking advantage of his momentum there to do some.
Yeah, speaking of which,
Quick
looking really
jumps.
good here, yeah. Ooh, that was close. Ooh, on the way back down. Brutal.
Ooh. Oh,
Non-lethal mistake. It's the best kind.
indeed.
Ooh, going under the fireballs there. Very nice.
The little screech.
Yeah, that's classic Super Mario Brothers 3.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love it.
Okay, gonna continuously jumping in order to avoid being kind of, jerked around by the treadmill, and definitely pays off for him.
Able to get back up to the next part of the Sky Castle here, where he will go on a magical vine journey. Opting not to take the power up, probably a wise move considering the bullets and everything allows him a smaller hitbox to
Yeah,
move around a little bit more easily.
that is true, but of course a little bit riskier since they don't have that safety.
Yes. As we can see, flying Goombas do not hold back.
Those beautiful cannon-topped enemies.
Gotta love them. Unless you're running, in which case you hate them
Yeah,
passionately
yeah.
with the fire of 1,000 angry suns.
Kirbocyhn has a really nice rhythm worked out for that first part. Kind of, more of what we'll expect to see during some of the optimizations of these levels is, once you played it enough, you can figure out how to kind of thread the needle when it comes to some of these fireballs and things like that.
Indeed.
Alright, taking the mushroom this time. Ooh, nice. Kind of skipped a cycle there by being able to hit the on and off switch when they did.
Just standing on top of the block there for a moment, not even clinging to the vine.
Yeah.
Likes to live dangerously sometimes. Very dangerously, considering...
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very nicely done.
Able to get in that pipe with power up to the boom boom fight.
And with Super Mario this time, so easily taking him out. And this final Goomba boss takes care of him easily. GG Kirbocyhn.
Just in case you really wanted to die 2 feet away from the end.
I love the dramatic music.
Indeed.
All right, and so now we'll be moving on to the optimization phase. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the runners will have 30 minutes across these 3 levels to take as many attempts at each one as they would like to get their times down as fast as possible.
Indeed.
I like these titles. It can be hard when you make a stage to try to figure out a good title for it, but I think these are pretty good titles.
With how many people making levels in Super Mario Maker, there's gotta be, thousands of levels uploaded, and
It's got to be more than that. It's probably I'm not probably like hundreds of thousands if I had to venture a guess, but
Ugh.
a lot. Your point is definitely taken. There's lots of levels out there, and they all need names. Sometimes people just kind of spam letters and numbers.
Twitch chat at one point questioning, what is this left you speak of?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to go left. Very weird.
Fiesel going over the rules for this next part with the runners right now. They can opt to do it in whatever order they would like. They can quit mid-level if they decide they don't want to go fight a whole bunch of Goombas anymore.
Pros in the clouds. Oh, I didn't get to read all of it. It went away.
No.
Hopefully we'll get a chance. I think it said plebes something. Pros and plebes. Pros in the clouds, plebes in the dirt. Which are you? Wow.
You can see right there, current world record holder GFE
one of the playtesters for these levels.
Yep. 23 seconds, so interesting to see if they'll be able to get that close.
And here they go. The 30 minutes has officially started. There we go.
Splitting up their choices here.
So Romashkoo starting with that desert level with the big slope at the beginning, and it does sort of look like if they just sort of hold right this whole time, they might be able to just go straight under that jumping Goomba.
Apparently, with the level Romashkoo's doing, definitely a lot of routes to go on this one.
Ooh. There's a kind of gnarly crush there from his spring. That was unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of routes in this level, and actually demonstrating that even further by taking that upper route, just kind of jumping all over the clouds.
Able to jump off the Goomba stack there in order to get over the spike.
Meanwhile, Kirbocyhn, kind of an interesting approach, taking a stab at the level that they just finished playing. And I think that's not a bad strategy at all. You know, he just spent a lot of time on this one and is familiar with it. It's fresh, and why not go ahead and get it knocked out?
Spike giving him no trouble. Turns out we didn't even need to jump him for that. Just keep going right. Ooh.
Alright, ooh. Let's see. Okay, got that on a pretty quick cycle. Being able to hit that, it's it's one of those things where if you miss it, you just have to wait and then hit it again, and it's probably about a second, maybe 2 seconds for each one you have to wait. So,
In a game like this, though, where optimization is one of the ways you can get points, though, it's 1 or 2 seconds can.
yeah, it matters for sure. Yeah. Ooh, Romashkoo hitting on the bottom of that moving block there in the U shape.
Kirbocyhn getting a little bit of trouble.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, those treadmills definitely add a extra layer of difficulty.
Of course, combined with the on-off switch, which is new for Super Mario Maker 2, able to set them to move back and forth.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with that on and off switch. It affects a lot of different things that are in the levels.
Kirbocyhn nearly going for a comment there instead of the run.
I'm sure they have things they'd like to say about this level, but now's not the time.
Chat pointing out that dying after hitting a checkpoint will continue your time, so we'll probably need to go back, start fresh at some point. Of course, taking advantage of it now just to get some practice in.
Practice, and also, if they decide they want to move on and come back to it, at least they have a time, something kind of entered in, and they can feel comfortable maybe moving over to another run.
Did start over instead of opting to go back to the checkpoint. Oh.
Yeah, those claws will drop stuff on your head. It is usually pretty unexpected when it happens. There's a little bit of a delay. It's kind of, it's not exactly, it doesn't trigger the way you might think initially.
No. And,
Uh-oh. Can you still get in there? No, not even going to try. I wonder if you could jump into that pipe from there. It kind of looked like you maybe could, but might as well just give it a fresh start.
Indeed. Romashkoo on the right, making a brave leap over the muncher off screen.
Yeah, doing a little bit of improvising there at the end after missing a cloud and continuing to run with it. I like that.
Indeed, may have possibly found a faster route doing it that way, maybe not.
Yeah, that is a lot of ground that you cover right there when you just kind of fall down. It could be good.
Indeed.
And then this part doesn't look like it's too terribly tough, so it's kind of got the benefit of, you know, by being able to switch tracks, you can kind of pick and choose the parts of each track that you want to do based on difficulty. And yeah, they're able to put a clear in for this level. So we'll wait to see if they want to take another shot at that or maybe move on to another level here.
Good 5 seconds off of the gold record there. Still very impressive.
Yeah, not bad at all. Looks like they are going to take a stab at Forgotten Palace. We're moving on to for SpeedGaming's weekly race. Very descriptive description.
Says what it's there for.
Does what it says on the tin. And this is the one that they had started with the races. The nice kind of sky castle look to it, with all the beetles.
Beetles, quite a theme today, making appearances in 2 of the 3.
Yeah, and they both happen to be sort of at the same time, too.
Kirbocyhn on the left there, skipping the initial cloud section by opting to just stay on the last beetle there to jump up at the very end.
Yeah, Romashkoo, it looks like, still sort of experimenting with these dropping beetles and figuring out, okay, which ones can I just sort of hold right for? Which ones do I have to jump for first? Where should I maybe think about, you know, tapping back on the D-pad, you know, to slow my momentum a little bit and avoid getting, you know, hit in the head with one of these things?
Yeah.
Ooh, got a little tied up on a vine there. Got his ankle twisted up.
Tied up on a vine.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of one of those beetles that was very expertly placed by the creator to, if you hold right and jump and do what feels natural, to hit you right in the head. So you have to kind of second guess that approach and either delay or jump early or jump late or do something. And now we're just kind of discovering all those.
Chat in agreement that vertical up pipes are the worst.
They are really tricky to get into, for sure. Especially at tough angles.
Getting caught on the vine there again.
All right, Kirbocyhn finishing off the boss of the fortress stage here. All right.
Able to make it over the mini-boss.
Yeah.
Very easily.
Yeah, and so, again, we have 30 minutes total, and we're at about 7.5 minutes. So, you know, if you're being very fair about it, you know, you're maybe doing about 10 minutes per level. And so to have a time sort of in the bank with 7.5 minutes and 7:40, you know, it would be understandable if they wanted to maybe move on to another one now. It looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yep.
So now we'll both be working. Oh no, we're looking at 2 different stages here still. I thought we were about to be looking at another split screen, but nope, incorrect.
Nope. Kirbocyhn going for the first level that Romashkoo did.
And instantly picking up on the upper cloud path there. I have to imagine they probably glanced that on the other screen, you know?
Yeah.
Sort of an upper path here. That's not something that we saw Romashkoo do.
No, attempts to jump up onto the cloud there from the looks of it.
That was yeah, it was a good attempt trying to thread the needle there.
Spike hitboxes, everyone.
Yeah, that was tough to try to do.
Ooh.
Romashkoo's trying to deal with all those beetles. It's there's a lot of them on this stage. A lot to remember.
Trying to make that last jump there on Kirbocyhn's side, but it looks like it's a little bit too far of a gap to make without up to the top where the ice blocks are, without going for the spring there.
Here's another path that we hadn't previously seen over here on Kirbocyhn's side. Oh, and going straight. Oh, yeah. If you just you know, just basically stand on that, it'll pretty much take you to the end. So if they're able to make their way back there, hopefully they will just ride that to victory. Oh, so Romashkoo actually was able to manage to get under that second beetle that was giving them trouble before, but then unfortunately runs into a spike there. I wonder if they'll try to incorporate that again when they go through that part.
I can't keep watch of both screens.
I
I
know.
keep getting distracted by one screen, and
I know, it's tough.
you say something, and I'm like, wait, they did what?
There's a lot of cool stuff going on here right now.
Dobbs Work, one of the creators of one of these 3 levels, in the chat, mentioning that he made sure these dropping Buzzy Beetles were as inconveniently placed as possible.
Yeah, we definitely picked up on that, and well done, well done, very nice. Definitely makes it interesting. That's what we like to. That's what we like to watch.
And of course, he had to beat the level himself to upload it, so
Yeah.
kind of wonder how many times he got snagged by his own level here.
Yeah, but he also didn't have to, or they didn't have to worry about going fast necessarily, like our racers do right now. So
Well, speedrunners, who doesn't try to go fast?
yeah, I'm sure they were able to do it pretty fast.
It helps that they made the level, so
Yes.
they know where the beetles are.
Yeah. All right, Romashkoo going left.
I wonder if any of the pipes actually go anywhere, or if they're just beetle droppers.
I don't know. I would guess no, but that's the fun thing about Mario Maker is you never know until you try. It would be a fun Easter egg if one of those was maybe like a pipe that just kind of like, spits you out at the end there.
Dev exits, they exist.
All right, and Romashkoo doing this very spooky ghost chase section here that we saw earlier in the race portion. Yeah, and again, having to make them rock back and forth like that, you have to wonder if there's a way to do that in such a way where you can just kind of run straight through it. So we'll see if one of them is able to kind of work through that. As we are now both on the same stage on both sides here of our screen.
Oh, thank goodness for us.
Yeah, talk about similar things here. And Romashkoo is starting from the checkpoint, so it seems like maybe just trying to, make sure that they do log a time, and then we'll go back. And there we have it. Yeah, getting through that section without having to rock back and forth. Definitely going to be preferable. That's a tough jump right there.
Indeed.
Ooh, nice. Jumping up on top of the question blocks there, avoiding the ghosts entirely. That's a nice strategy.
Very good.
The ghosts come for their revenge. Very nice. That was a good jump.
Oh! That little area down there, just a prime spot for booze.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're sticking low to the ground with their mole friends down there. They're help steering things along.
Indeed.
Moles, of course, have a really interesting kind of movement pattern in Super Mario Maker, both 1 and 2, where they kind of will chase the player around, but they also, all of the ground under them is very slippery, so they will run by you and then sort of slip slide and then try to take off towards you the other direction.
They're on permanent ice physics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
No wonder they're angry.
Well, just like our runners, they're just trying to go fast.
And unfortunately for our runners, they're very good at catching our players.
Also want to take a moment to say that I really enjoy when creators use this particular music choice for levels. When you start with this kind of like new age yoga sort of sound, it's just like, it makes it so much more chill to play these levels. I really appreciate that.
Of course, our players probably not chill, swearing revenge on the Buzzy Beetles.
Maybe it helps kind of calm their nerves a little bit, hearing the gentle tones of these prayer bowls. I'm getting caught up on that vine again. It's almost like it's, wrapping around their leg while they're trying to run away.
There's probably a video game about that out there somewhere, I'm sure.
About vines that wrap around your legs?
I mean,
Now I'm just trying to think of video games
I'm
with vines.
thinking of Limbo almost sometimes when I thought about that. Of course, have not played Limbo in years. I could just be like a bear trap. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Bear traps.
Speaking of bear traps, both of these runners seem to be trapped on this part of the level here. Just working us back into the race here. Yeah, so both of them just, again, sort of dealing with these super inconvenient buzzy beetles dropping down on their heads. Ooh. And with the limited room to jump, obviously that makes things difficult.
Kirbocyhn does find out that there is nowhere to go in that pipe, at least.
Yeah, well, that answers
Accidentally.
that. Yeah. Might have heard us talking about it because the runners they're just on the other side of a not too big room, so they can definitely hear us talking. That's what we learned during the last race, at least. That was mentioned.
That's why I warned you not to jinx them. We do have to interview them after this, after all.
Fair.
I feel like being large Mario in this section, while giving you a safety, is also a little more time-consuming, since you have to be a little more careful with going under the pipe section.
Yeah. I mean, just as you say that, Kirbocyhn has a little bit of an issue jumping over that beetle because they are, 2 blocks big, essentially. I might have done like a duck jump or something like that there, but, it's tough when you're racing, so that's definitely understandable.
Romashkoo taking a death there looked deliberate.
Ooh, just a very slight mistiming of that. But they didn't really have a choice because they had ghosts barreling right towards them, so.
Very interesting strategy they had there at the start, using a damage boost to be able to just skip past that section with the vines above the spikes.
Yeah, that's pretty clever. Yeah, in Super Mario Maker, really most Mario games, really, after you get hit, it's like, all right, you have, about 2 seconds or so to just like do whatever you need to do to get out of danger, get past danger, and continue your run.
Yeah. Oh, Buzzy Beetle to the head there. Cannot wear these guys as shells.
No. There's insects inside of them. I assume, at least. They're beetles, so. But, yeah, not the shellmet variety, unfortunately.
No. Quick enough they're able to get out of the juke section without needing to actually juke.
Very agile.
Like the little drop off there for the first set of moles and boos. Little back and forth there for safety.
Yeah, it seems like maybe Romashkoo's introducing a little bit more caution into this attempt. I've seen them kind of double back a few times and try to be a little extra careful.
Breaking the blocks there ahead of the falling beetle there.
Oh no!
Ooh.
Yeah, as you were going to say, the breaking those blocks, that was smart. That you can kind of avoid having to wait for that section. That was pretty cool.
Especially with ghosts on his tail. Pigtail, I might say, with Toadette.
Yeah, that's right.
That's just like a little box of doom right there where the key is.
Yeah. And that section that Kirbocyhn was just dealing with, that's really tricky because the ghosts come towards you and you want to be able to jump to avoid the ghost and go through that little gate that opens up. But unfortunately, the ghost hits and then the gate opens, so you kind of have to jump over it and then go back.
Able to use the vines to... get out of the death zone, but promptly bounces off a Buzzy Beetle to death.
Yeah, no, that was a very nice attempt to kind of survive in that sort of Coliseum area that they had there with all of those ghosts.
We are got just under 10 minutes left here for them on the optimized part of the stage. Person with the best time will win points, 1 or 2 points, determined by how better their time is compared to the other players, which is how the scoring also worked on the first part of the round with the first playthrough of the levels.
Yeah, so kind of cool that there is an advantage to, how much more optimized you can be. It's not just about who has the fastest time, but depending on how much faster your time was, you can actually be awarded extra points. Really awesome.
Indeed. Kind of makes it, especially as maybe with some harder levels, you might just be like, I'm not bothering with this level.
Right. Yeah, maybe just try to really, just absolutely go hard on one level and see if you can get 2 points off of it instead of, trying to maybe get a point from each one. That's definitely a strategy that could be employed.
Indeed, especially with the third part being so variable in how many points they end up getting. Like the first 2 sections of this format especially could be completely thrown out the window just by how nice endless mode is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Someone in Twitch chat saying this level's annoying. I think the players would agree with you.
I think it's a great level. And Kirbocyhn does go ahead and turn in a time there. We'll see how much they were able to optimize that over what they originally had. Okay, coming in at 141. I don't remember, unfortunately, what they had before that. But it looks like either way, they are going to move on to another level.
Romashkoo taking advantage of the invincibility frames there to jump through boos.
All right, Romashkoo turning in a time on that level as well. So I believe 141 was what Kirbocyhn had just
I believe you are correct. So
walked
we will
away with. Yeah, so
have to see here.
156 for Romashkoo. Will they take another stab or will they move on? Okay, looks like they're going to move on.
Our players are writing their times on a whiteboard you can see between them on the screen there. Down at the bottom, so they are able to see each other's times even if they are not watching each other's screen directly.
Yeah, that's sort of an interesting kind of element that they can, both very much see the time and know, are you going to get this point or not? And do you want to work on it or do you want to work on a different one? It sort of adds an extra kind of cerebral kind of strategy to things that I very much enjoy.
I didn't realize how much Mario could be a mind game until I started watching Super Mario Maker.
Yeah, or specifically SpeedGaming Live, right?
Of course, we do dailies on this level. Well, not this level, but this game.
Yeah.
Nearly skids right off the end there without getting the...
Okay, and they turn in a 26,707.
I believe that was a little bit of time shaved off of where they were.
It seems not too, about 3 seconds away from world record. Kind of for whatever that's worth. That was, our play tester kind of working their way through it. You have to imagine they're going to put in a pretty decent time. So, 3 seconds off of that is I would probably move on if it were me. I think I would feel pretty good about that.
It does look like they've decided to move back to our favorite Buzzy Beetle level.
Well, and at this point, in the last race, we heard commentators talk a little bit about that sunk cost fallacy and, you know, to a certain extent, when you've spent this much time on it, you're the most familiar with it, and why not run with that, you know, and try to see if you can steal that time away.
Indeed. Coming up on just 5 minutes left for these two to get their final attempts in here.
Mm-hmm. Yep, this is definitely cleanup time to take care of anything that you want to make sure you do at the end of your time here.
I do believe that if they're in the middle of a run when time is over, they will be able to complete it, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
no more restarts. Just gotta keep going with where you're at.
Romashkoo losing a little bit of momentum there and taking advantage of the invol timer for those first fireballs, but then unfortunately landing square in the middle of the second ones. Another shout outs to the music here. Just love, just heard another like sleigh bell, and it just reminded me. It's just like you never hear music like this in a Mario game. It's just like super chill. I love it.
We getting our holidays mixed up a little bit here. Got a little bit of
There could be spooky sleigh bells. I don't know how they sound different. They sound the same. Yeah, so that part on Kirbocyhn's part, again, that part with the ghosts and the sort of, you know, door and the timer kind of looked like he was starting to get on to the fact that if you sort of kind of wiggle around there a little bit, you can make the mole go a little bit slower and then be able to time that jump so that you are jumping up at the same time that the ghost would be colliding with you. Of course, I'm sure that's much easier said than done in the moment, but I'm fairly certain I've seen at least one of the runners pull that off at least once, kind of that stagger.
I believe you're correct. Of course, we've seen them run these levels who knows how many times at this point.
A few. I'd say at least a few. Yeah.
Chat pointing out that we are correct. We would just remember Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's yeah, good one. Spooky sleigh bells abound in that flick. They just sound like regular sleigh bells, I think. In that.
You would have to do like there's that little like raindrop chime too whenever they start. That's very interesting as well.
Yeah, it's a cool track. Very cool.
Mario Maker, also known for some very amazing music levels, of which we may or may not see any, depending on endless mode.
Yeah, that would be a treat.
Using the invuln frames there on Kirbocyhn's time to be able to pick up the second mushroom.
And Romashkoo's got about a minute and a half to get into another run here, and as you said, is able to finish one once timer ends. So definitely worth it to jump into one, and who knows, maybe you one-shot it, you know?
Kirbocyhn deciding to turn in a time there.
1:36.
I'm not sure if that's an improved time or what he came in with. Is going to opt here to...
Yeah, next time I'm going to bring a little notepad up here and write these times down.
Just go over there and grab the whiteboard.
Yeah, I can almost see it from here, from across the room.
Both players deciding to end out this part with what is probably the most complex one to optimize.
Doing some more cloud jumping here at the top. And still improvising when you fall down to the bottom, because that is still a viable route. Very nice.
Kirbocyhn.
All right, so we'll be able to see both of their times here. Okay, and that is time. Really nice time turned in by Kirbocyhn at the end. Kirbocyhn there at the end.
Indeed, shaving off a couple of seconds there.
All right, so we are going to take a look at the times and tally up the scores, so we will get an update on where we stand after that phase of this competition.
And we will be moving into the 20-minute endless expert run. At this point, they will have 20 minutes to complete as many levels as they can. Dying does not lose them levels. They just start back again, and they can skip as many as they want.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to this part. This is the fun one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're all fun, let's be honest. But there's something very intriguing about playing endless and just seeing, any level could come up, as long as it's within a certain difficulty. Who knows what we're going to get here?
Indeed. Do start out with 15 lives with expert mode here. So hopefully be able to see quite a few levels on both players' sides.
Yeah, but like you said, I think it's good to remember this in this competition. The lives don't really mean a whole lot, other than when you die, it takes a little bit longer to get restarted. You know, so it's really just going to be about how many levels you clear, how many flagpoles you hit or axes you drop. That's what we're tallying here.
Of course, the time loss with this being a limited time section definitely comes into play too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Even if it's just by seconds. Kirbocyhn half off our camera there.
It's a very artistic angle. I like it.
Yeah. Fiesel explaining this format to them again.
Just making sure everybody's on the same page. Never a bad idea.
Chat saying that's his good side.
It's funny because Fiesel's standing in front of them and writing on a whiteboard. He kind of looks like a coach a little bit, like drawing out some plays or something.
Surprise, we will be switching to a football game.
Oh, wow.
Instead of Super Mario Maker 2 for the next 30.
I will commentate that as best as I can, but I thought I was going to be doing Mario Maker. Yeah, I don't know if that's being picked up on the mic at all, but he's just like going through the plays with him. It's pretty funny.
Chat saying Fiesel needs a white hat and a whistle ASAP.
That could be a good look.
I don't think we want to give him a whistle though.
Oh yeah, good point. Definitely good point.
Chat saying so Super Madden Maker speedruns.
That could be fun. What do you make of these high scores? Do you think that counts for anything?
So I was playing past the controller Super Mario Maker 2 last night with another event goer because I don't own the game, he did. So we were just passing it to each other between us on normal mode. And it took us 6 tries to get above level 2. Really? So, I don't hold the high score to anything really too much because that could be one really good run. That could be the result of 2 hours of
a bunch of skips. Yeah. So, yeah, the thing about the high score that is a little bit kind of wonky, I guess, is that you can skip as many levels as you want, and the high score will keep going up, as long as you beat the levels and don't run out of lives. So,
Kirbocyhn getting further and further off camera.
You might just need to scooch a little bit, or maybe the camera needs to move. Yeah.
Getting reassured it will be fixed.
There we go.
Yeah. Now we can see both of the lovely faces again, and
Okay, and the scores have been updated. So Kirbocyhn now sitting at 5, Romashkoo at 2.
only a 3-point difference there. It really is going to come down to this, and looks like we are off.
All right. We got somebody's first level on the big screen.
And
Here we go.
And a lot of piranha pants on the Kirbocyhns to.
Oh boy. It is a speedrun level. So Oh boy. Oh boy, we got to get out of here.
Just shaking his head. Escape from Switch Maze.
So we're seeing, immediate evaluations of all of these levels, trying to decide, do I even want to take a step on this level, or would my time be?
Oh!
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. This is because if you get a bad feeling about a level, sometimes it ends up playing like this one that we see on the right of our screen here. Okay, avoiding the first Kaiser block and avoiding the second one. But how many more will there be? You have to ask. Okay, this checkpoint. All right. Looks like sticking with it was the way to go here.
Kirbocyhn going for a ride there. Oh!
Ooh, wow. Okay. Oh, do you want to go down in that hole? How likely is that to soft lock? Is that a soft lock down there?
Not going to risk it. Don't
Nope.
blame him.
All right, running under these off-screen thwomps. Okay, and here's the end in sight.
Oh!
Tough jump. And Kirbocyhn taking a level. Looking good.
Indeed.
Yeah, that was a tough jump. Although I will say it seemed fair. There was no no Kaizo blocks to ruin our day or anything. So definitely worth taking another stab. Very nice.
Just gonna hop over the bouses there.
A single bound.
Oh. Mario sang it best there in Kirbocyhn.
Oh boy. That is what we call in the industry hot garbage. Oh, hitting that bottom spike again. That's a tough jump.
Deciding to go ahead and skip it. Give it a couple of tries.
Another go. And meanwhile, Romashkoo testing out a new level. We have some rising lava in this one, it looks like. The end is in sight for Kirbocyhn. Oh no!
Oh! Just
Level creator making a really interesting choice there. Oh, okay, here we go. That actually was for something. So the lava came up, and now we have a way to get into that pipe there. Oh no! Hate when that happens. Well, Kirbocyhn takes a level. That's great. Romashkoo accidentally tapping back on that pipe, having to go back through it again.
I mean, maybe he just decided to take a break. Needed a sip of water or something.
Maybe. Taking some stairs up to nowhere. Very good castle design. Taking it slow here. Can't blame them, being this far along in a level. Looks like this might be pick a pipe. Oh no. That's awful. That's terrible.
And you'll notice, as Chat points out, his second level is also my first level.
A lot of first timers up on the big stage here. Oh no, going through that pipe again, and unfortunately it proves to be lethal this time.
Kirbocyhn skipping. Homie Yosh is
The
back.
homie Yosh is back. 20 seconds.
Real question is, what are the odds that we ditch Yoshi at the end, though?
Hopefully we'll see this level long enough to find out. So ideally, you know, when you see something like 20-second speed run, that is a level you could theoretically beat very, very quickly, and a point you can gain. So kind of something to be on the lookout for both of these runners, those speed run levels. We'll fake out there. 4, 3, counting down. Will they make it? Yes.
Ooh.
Well done, Kirbocyhn.
Nice little heart there at the end.
Very good.
Romashkoo deciding, nope, not happening.
Not going to do that one. All right. Also, Kirbocyhn, 15 lives. They've lost as many as they've gained. Pretty impressive. Oh, wow. Just a deluge of Goombas here at the beginning.
Death wall.
Yeah, just give those a second, and then... Oh, and
Oh,
hidden
no.
blocks. Yeah, you skipped that one. You definitely skipped that one at that point.
And parachute Goombas coming down from the top.
Yeah, you don't want to see the rest of that level. Weight loss with Mario. Do we want... Nope. Don't. Doesn't like the clown car. Can't say I blame him. Spiky balls. Let's see what this one looks like. Oh, okay, and we have a one-screener.
Oh, with a lot of spikes and a lot of balls.
Yeah. So lots of things to bounce off of, but really the challenge here is going to be avoiding that Lakitu in the winged cloud up top. Has a very tough pattern to avoid.
Indeed, because only option here is to get under.
Yeah, you can only get in from the bottom there, it looks like. So basically just have to wait for that P-switch, or go up there and activate that P-switch, and then jump in through the bottom, ultimately deciding not worth the effort, not worth the time.
Romashkoo making some good progress on that level, but it is taking him a good minute, opting to just skip out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we have a nighttime level here. Super Mario Brothers Forest Nighttime introduces the acid poison that we have here at the bottom of the screen. It looks like the creator of this level has opted to do a little bit of rise and fall on that as well.
Romashkoo just not getting a good run here with these levels.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, bad luck. Okay. Oh,
Another night theme on Romashkoo's side.
yep. And this one is also forest with the poison there at the bottom. Just we're looking at new Super Mario Brothers instead. Ooh, look out for those. Those will make the floor go away. Ooh, very trippy sound effects on Kirbocyhn's side. Yeah, so Romashkoo having to deal with a snake, and snake levels, you know, the creator, I think a lot of creators maybe take for granted the fact that just because they know where the snake's going to go doesn't mean that the player is going to know, and makes for some kind of difficult levels.
Indeed.
Really easy to get accidentally crushed when it takes a turn, to get left on a bottom ledge when the rest of it is moving up. So really the best strategy is going to be to just kind of try to stay on the front of the snake as much as possible. And that's what Romashkoo does and makes it through. And getting a checkpoint. Oh, that was rude. Well, at least they got the checkpoint.
Hey, checkpoint, death. Always
Evens
best
out.
to get a death early after getting a checkpoint then.
So, yeah, I mean, if you have to take a death, best time is immediately after hitting a checkpoint. Don't cross the line is the name of this stage. So it seems like every time they move above that line there, the floor lets out. That was probably obvious to some people watching to put that together sooner than I did, but that is definitely what's going on here. That's kind of a cool level.
Kirbocyhn finishing another level there. Able to move on.
Okay, it looks like they are on board with the not crossing the line.
Oh,
Ooh. That's a game over. So that is the last we'll see of that stage. As they get back into the Endless Challenge, we will start with a new stage here.
Kirbocyhn opting to skip a car level there.
Yep, car levels notoriously. I don't want to say they're all bad. I'm sure there's some great car levels out there, but yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little Super Mario World forest level. Oh no, looks like probably time to just sink there. Yep. So yeah, as we've now learned that you can't go in the water there at the end.
Romashkoo there with what is probably, in my opinion, one of the hardest level condition.
Yeah, do not leave the ground, or once you leave the ground, you can't touch the ground again. So you'll see them move very slowly along these seesaws, making sure not to touch, to leave the ground. And the level appropriately named, Don't Jump.
Sometimes straightforward is the best option.
Sure. Oh, and Kirbocyhn deciding not to take another attempt at that final jump there. Looked like it was pretty precise what you needed to do. Now, Romashkoo, it could be the case that they need to spin jump on top of those thwomps, and then just maybe the goal is nearby. It looks like they were giving that a try.
Just opting to skip it at this point.
Yeah, because they can leave the ground, but then the hope would have been they would have had to run into the goal before they hit the ground. And who knows what was at the end of those thwomps, so no thanks.
Kirbocyhn skipping. We have a level for Frank on Romashkoo's side. So, any Franks out there? This one's for
This
you,
one's
evidently.
for you. Oh no, another invisible block. Are they? Oh, and it was a fake out. They were actually okay, but then Romashkoo deciding, you know what? Don't play games with me. I don't want to play those games. It's 3 a.m. and my son won't sleep by Frizzle Fry. Oh, it is actually it's also a nighttime level, Super Mario World Castle level, which gives you water physics, even though it doesn't look like you're underwater. As you can see, Romashkoo is swimming around.
Of course, throwing in Magic Koopas there, just
Let's make life interesting. Uh-oh. So Kirbocyhn also playing some Super Mario World on the regular land theme here. Jacking one of these clown cars. That's the win condition. Whoa! Look out.
angry sun from nowhere.
Yeah, wow. That was brutal.
Well, he knows it's there now, so
Yep. And sticking with the level. Has faith. All right. Playing a little bit of keep away. Oh! I do like that strategy, though, kind of moving backwards, baiting the enemies away. You can imagine probably after that they were planning on kind of swooping down under. You know, try to avoid all those enemies there. Not a bad idea. Oh, another invisible block rears its ugly head.
Romashkoo just making his way. Oh, going back through the pipe after seeing what's on the next screen.
Stealing his resolve a little bit. I'm probably a little freaked out and almost forgot that they weren't going to fall right there. I was kind of wondering what was going to happen there too. But all right, and picks up a completed level here in this Endless Expert. Very well done.
Yeah, not getting good luck there at first, but
It's 3 a.m. and my son won't sleep.
they do have about half the time left, little less actually.
Is this one 20 minutes or 30 minutes?
30 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
If
It is
was-
20. Oh, I believe it is 20. Yeah. So we've got less
it
than 5
20?
minutes. Yeah.
Oh, well,
This one is a little bit shorter than the last phase there.
well, they're halfway through the last half of their time.
Yeah. There you go. That's what you meant to say, right?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay. All right. Jungle Valley. Kirbocyhn taking another. Oh, not going to play this one. I wonder what they didn't like about that one. I thought that one looked good. Oh, okay. Dream Speed 20. Another, looks like, I would imagine, 20-second speed run. Again, you know, potential for a quick, easy victory there if you can just brave 20 seconds of this level here. Oh. So there's always a fear when you do stop your momentum on a speed run. You have to wonder, is that what they intended, or is this one of those hold right and time your jump kind of speed runs? Oh man, is Romashkoo, is that pick a pipe? Not even gonna pick. Oh, I thought maybe there was a like a P switch active and they were waiting for it to run out, but looks like maybe they needed to be Super Mario or something like that. Either way, deciding not to deal with it at all, moving on to the next one. Yes, we have another one of these one-screen wonders. Well, we did. We had one shot at it, but so Kirbocyhn, exhausting their lives there, are going to jump back in, see how many more they can finish in these last 3 minutes or so.
You've got a cat suit for Romashkoo.
Okay, we have another win condition on Kirbocyhn's side. Need to grab 6 coins in this one. Oh, and it's an upside-down level. Nope, says Kirbocyhn. Nope.
Do not blame him. I would probably do the same.
Yeah.
Kirbocyhn getting the easier version of the don't jump level.
Mm-hmm. Hidden Keys Rob by Zeneca. Don't Kill the Goombas by Marco187.
With a condition goal of reaching the goal after defeating one Goomba.
Interesting. Looks like we're going to take a stab at it.
Possibly has to be a specific Goomba.
Yeah, maybe the title was just a lie. So it almost looks like a split screen, but both of these runners are on different stages, just the same theme and mode here.
Meows are making an appearance on Kirbocyhn's side.
Ooh. Go ahead and take that hit in order to make it through that treadmill and one space kind of situation there. What's this gonna say? Revenge. I guess I haven't been following the story of this level.
Oh.
Oh, okay. The Goombas come back for revenge. That's awesome. Don't kill the Goombas.
So, I wonder if there's something behind the scenes we can't see there where you get that if you kill one of these fresh Goombas.
Like if you avoid killing this one, maybe you don't have to go through that gauntlet at the end.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. That would be an awesome setup for a level.
Kirbocyhn getting another win there.
Yeah, and they're going to try. They did avoid killing the Goomba in order to maybe avoid that death room at the end. We'll see if that works. Okay, and our time is officially up, so they will be able to finish the life that they're on. I don't think Kirbocyhn's going to be able to play that stage, unfortunately, but...
Oh. Getting,
Oh, and Romashkoo. Oh, okay, my mistake. It looks like actually does need to finish up now that the timer has elapsed. And so with that, that ends phase 3 of this race. We have Kirbocyhn with 10 and Romashkoo with 3. 11. Kirbocyhn with 11. My apologies. Getting that final point in at the end. All right. Well, excellent job to both of our racers. Let's give them a round of applause.
Chat disappointed. They wanted to see what would happen if you don't kill the Goomba.
Could we maybe see? Could we just see the end of this level? Ah.
Chat
There
getting
you
what
go.
they want.
Yeah. They demand it. All right, so we're going to be nice to the Goombas. We're not going to kill any Goombas on the way.
I wasn't aware this was a Super Metroid run. Which is also going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you know, animals dying, living, taunted all over the place.
All right, this is about where we were. What will Romashkoo do? Are they going to do the rolls? There they go.
Hey!
Nice. Now do you... Okay. Okay. Very cool. Cool level. Nice. And well done. Awesome. All right. Well, are we going to do some runner interviews? Y'all want to come chat with us? All right.
I'll scoot over
Yeah,
here.
let's scoot a little bit. Make some room.
We all like each other here.
All right, welcome. Fellas, GG. Okay.
Looks like we're running an ad first, real quick.
Alrighty. That looked fun.
It was a lot of fun. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed
it
that.
was.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Perfect.
Thanks.
Some real choice endless levels there. Popping
Oh, yeah.
Bad ones.
Yeah.
Just what you want when you run.
Twitch chat is, of course, disappointed that we're running ads.
Oh, gotta do it. Gotta do it. That's how the world works.
I thought for sure with that third level we had in the blind that I'd be done for. I was like, I hate this level. They're so long.
You did really good. GG.
I tried, thank you. You did great too. You were better on a blind though, because the first level I beat like right before you, but the other two you beat me on, right? So
I'm not bad at beating levels, but I'm
Right.
really bad about speedrunning.
gotcha. That's probably my advantage then.
Yep.
It's quite an ad.
Chat pointing out that those that are subscribed and such do not actually see the ads. So we're still
Well, behind the scenes, Pete.
yeah. While we
Hey subs.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
of which we may have 2 or 3 of them actually here in the audience.
Yeah, right. What's up, y'all?
We were eating lunch up in our hotel room and watching the stream.
Yeah, I've got it on in my room right now.
I like that we got some Mario in there.
Mm-hmm.
Ask chat if they have any questions for our runners here. They do have questions for you guys. They also have a question for us
Okay.
that we'll get to.
All right. Cool.
And we are good, so we'll start with the announcer question real quick first, because there's only one of those, and SSBM Oro wants to know, Temp, you want to race SMM2 at 11?
Yeah, that's my roommate. So yeah, we'll be sure to do that. Cool. All right. So to our runners, GG to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great race. A ton of fun to watch. Let's start with Kirbocyhn. Tell us about your strategy. Since we just watched the Endless Expert, what was your strategy in terms of like skips there?
So it is a lot of the tags as well. If I saw a speed run or if I saw a standard or a themed, those got a thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
If I saw puzzle or I forget the other one that was a kind of a downer, but besides that, it was also the world record time as well. Anything over a minute, I'm skipping it. So that was the big play. I think there was one level that I had no clear on that I attempted, but I think I ultimately skipped that one.
Gotcha. Okay. And what about you?
It's kind of the same strategy. I check the world record time and everything that above a minute. I almost all the times I skip, but for sometimes I just forgot because it's like I was nervous and I pressing this plus button and forgetting to check the world record and keep running and then figure out, oh, this running for too long, and then checking time and it's 3 minutes and I'm skipping it right away after a minute spent on this level. And I've got like 2 or 3 levels without clear rate that I attempted, and they were just bad.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen with those.
You never know.
That's like the wild west of
So
Mario Maker.
my main point for skipping is world record, and I like try. If I don't get it, I skip, and yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the questions chat was wondering about. So they did want to know, what did you guys think about the balance of levels picked for the first part? I don't actually know how levels got picked for you guys, so
Well, the first one and the third one, I think, were the longest, over a minute, even after we had speedrun them. But the middle one, the second one, was really short. I think our time was like 25 seconds or something close to that.
Yeah.
So it felt balanced because we had options to choose from. You know, go for the super long one that killed me a bunch of times in the first round. Which my strategy there was I had just finished that level and I played it a lot because I kept dying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, start with this one, just get a time in and move on to the other ones. Then I went for the short one and had a decent time with it.
Yeah, we were kind of figuring that was sort of the strategy, and it seemed like it paid off. Which part of this was your favorite from the races to the optimization to the endless? Which parts did you guys enjoy the most?
I enjoyed the most the blind run because I like exploring new levels, and I'm not that bad about beating levels when I don't know what to expect. But I'm pretty bad about speedrunning some levels. So the first part I liked a lot because levels are pretty balanced. I would probably want to have more themes instead of just Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3. I would like to have like more themes in the run. But it was fine. The levels were pretty balanced, and the lawn levels were not boring lawn. They were fun lawn.
Yeah.
So they were cool.
Yeah, definitely shout outs to our creators for some really excellent levels. And I really loved, especially for the optimization parts, how there were a lot of different stages. You could go up high and go on the clouds. You could go down kind of below, and there were different obstacles to avoid there. Did you guys, either one of you, feel free to answer, did you feel like you were kind of mapping out exactly what you wanted to do, or just kind of whatever happened, and just trying to go as fast as you could?
I don't know if it's so much mapping. It's the second one had a clear, you're supposed to go to the top route, right? The level was even named that.
Sure.
So as much as you could, you go that top route. But then I found a spot where you can kind of fall down and not die all the time, and it was decently fast.
Yeah.
And then eventually found out that was actually one of the ways to get to that platform that's toward the top, the one lone blue skull that got you toward the end, as opposed to the original way I did it, which is from the bottom. So that worked out well. I'm not sure. What do you think?
I don't know about mapping out, but I had like some strategy after the first run, after the first clear. I already knew how to clear some levels, and I figured out the path, the initial path, and I tried to work with this path. But then for the first level, yes, it was named like the high road, yeah. And I was trying to follow this high road, but then I found the way to do this bottom way. It was pretty good, but yeah, if I landed to the blue skull platform, it would be much faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just pretty hard because you don't see the Mario itself when you jump because it's like too high up.
Yeah.
So this part was pretty difficult to figure out and where to jump on the high road.
Yeah.
Well, that first level, too, is really confusing because it was the first level we had played. And when I went back to speedrun it, I forgot how to do it because it was kind of a puzzle level, especially blind. But then going back to it after all that time and your head's cleared from all those other levels, wait, I need to just play this again like it's blind to remember how to do it. And I went back and did a full run of it. But I caught myself trying to run it from the beginning, and that wasn't working for me because I kept dying. And I'm like, oh, this next section, how do you even do it?
Yeah.
So I can't hope that my first time in this, before the checkpoint is going to count. It won't count.
Do you guys have any memories of a time when looking at the other person's screen helped you out, or maybe vibed you out, or something like that?
Honestly, I was so concentrating on what I was doing, I rarely even saw his screen. Like every once in a while, I was like glance over, like, are you on a different level? Or are you, whatever. But there was no like, oh, what strategy are you doing? That's too in depth because I'm just so focused on what I'm doing.
That's fair. Yeah.
Totally agree. The same. There is just no time to look at the other person's screen.
Yeah. Any favorites in those endless experts? Any standouts there? There were some pretty cool levels, honestly, and some really bad ones too. But
I don't remember any single level.
The only one that stands out to me was one with all the P switches, and I was like, just get on top of the thwomps. That'll be the easiest way. But it wasn't my favorite by any means of the word.
Yeah.
But I did it, so it was nice.
I remember my first levels in a row. That was fun.
yeah. on the big screen, their very first level. It was kind of cool, actually. But yeah. Do we have any other questions from chat?
Yep. What's your favorite type of level to play?
I do love the speedrun levels, the ones that require you to hit the switches and create the platform. Oh, so that one Yoshi level, I like that one. So yeah, things like that. I really dig those.
Nice.
I do love to grind some precise jumping levels. So I'm not about like fast running levels. I'm about if you have a lot of platforming, a lot of jumps, and it's hard. It's like below 0.5% clear rate. I would love to like grind it for half an hour until I cleared it. That's my level.
Yeah, that is fun to do. Unfortunately, just not really the setting for that kind of grinding. Yeah, but awesome.
You guys have both clearly played expert enlist mode in the past. We could see that on your screens as you guys reset. Like, do you find as you guys keep playing through enlist, whether it be expert or normal or whatever, like, how does the game change from go to go at it?
I would say that with a lot of practice, especially when you do run the endless mode, you you play those levels more carefully probably, because like when I just started playing like about a year ago, just when I picked up the first Mario Maker, I was playing levels and I was dying in normal mode. I was dying a lot. And then I figured out that you have to be careful at some points, and you have to like, you can do some more risky jumps at some point. So that's kind of the learning that you get while playing levels.
Yeah, when to just hold right and when to be a little more cautious.
I would even say it's not about the tech that you have. It's a lot of tech, a lot of jumping, a lot of like precise platforming, and some Kaiser tricks. But when you need to jump or it's better to hold left, that's what you have to learn.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
And then I have one last question here, and it is from the creator of one of those 3 levels you played.
Oh, nice.
Is there anything you would change in any of them?
They're looking for feedback. They want your critique.
Honestly, all 3 of those levels I really liked. Like, I would like them if I were just playing them normally. Would I change anything? I don't think so.
How did you like all those beetles dropping on your head?
Well, maybe that. But as a player, you have to expect that there's going to be challenge to it. And it all depends upon how you play, too. Like the last question you asked, like, how do you play expert? It's everything from this format, where you're just trying to get as many levels as possible in a short period of time, to no skip, right?
Yeah.
So if you're doing no skip, which I usually play, so
Sure.
like, I'm trying to just beat the level, not have an achievement, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's different approach for sure. Yeah.
Those beetles weren't blind, so why do you remove them? If they were blind, then they would be bad.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah. You just have to kind of remember where they are and sort of map them out like that. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap this one up. Again, GG to both of you.
Thank you.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some more of these as we continue on with Speed Gaming Live 2019.
Indeed. We should have another match coming up soon. I don't know if it will be Super Mario Maker 2, possibly more Link to the Past, could be Super Metroid, could be Ocarina of Time. We have Link to the Past. Yep, we are getting
to the Past.
confirmed. It will be some more LTPR rando.
Awesome. All right. Sweet.
Alrighty.
Stay tuned.